Hey, beautiful souls, and welcome to Around the Kitchen Table, a space for honest conversations, stories from the heart, and gentle reminders that we're all walking each other home. I'm Laura Island, mother, creative, soul led CEO of Sacred Sister CIC, and the woman behind Wise Sacred Woman. I'm a witch with ADHD. And this podcast is where we gather to share the real, raw, and radiant parts of life. Each week, we'll explore what it means to live in rhythm with ourselves, with nature, and with one another. We'll talk about womanhood, sisterhood, creativity, leadership, spirituality, and the messy magic of being a human. So pour yourself a cuppa, get comfy, and let's meet here around the kitchen table, where stories are medicine and every voice belongs. Welcome to Around the Kitchen Table. It's really lovely to have you here with me. Actually, this evening, it's dark outside. It's 20 to 10 on Thursday, the 2nd of April. I've got my hot chocolate, a little bit of bedtime yumminess, and I'm sitting in a squeaky chair. So if you can hear that in the background, I apologise. Along with, if you can see this on screen, my one dog who's not being pleasant whilst you're all looking, the other one sound asleep, and the other one equally asleep snoring. My little pack. Now I can't put my laptop back down. So technically what I should do is now not add that bit into the podcast and just pause and start again. But, this is me. This is real. And I am sharing this with you having just got off of a beautiful circle with the women inside our sanctuary. We do our full moon ritual every full moon, every new moon, and then we hold a circle. And it was so, as it always is, powerful and beautiful in its simplicity. And there's a full moon in the sky. And tomorrow is Good Friday. And there's something about this moment that feels really potent, a kind of threshold. And so I thought, do you know what? Rather than wait till tomorrow, to be honest, we get the keys for a new adventure tomorrow. So 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'll be picking up the keys to a building in our local community. My husband owns a coffee roasters and we run a festival catering business. There's something missing where we live. We moved here about 5 months ago, and there's lots of coffee shops, but not very many independents. But also, it's missing a hub in the centre of town. So, watch this space. I'll be telling you more about that. But we get the keys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So, I thought, why not just jump on now whilst the moon is full? And it feels like a really good day. Good Friday has always been a day of kind of letting go, of surrender, of allowing something to fall away before anything new can begin. Long before it got, the deepening of that kind of Christian story. I liken it to the death and the rebirth. And so when you hold it so deeply in the death and rebirth, it's like, what is shifting for you? Because this week something has really landed for me that I knew I had to kind of bring it here to the table, because it's not just something I've heard, it's something that I really feel in my bones now. So let me ask you a question. Mm. She says, slurping her hot chocolate. Um, who are you? Who are you? And just notice what comes up. Let's just sit with that question for a moment. Who are you? And if you're watching this in a place that you can respond in the comments, respond. Tell me, who are you? And I really urge you, if you've not listened to this podcast before, to just stay to the end, because honestly, this session will be like a years and years worth of therapy in one go. When something drops and you'll be like, oh, hang on. Mm. So who are you? And notice what comes up. Because most women, when I ask that question, they tell me what they do. I'm a mum. I'm the strong one. I'm the one who holds everything together. I'm anxious. I feel lost. I don't even know who I am anymore. That one's quite common, especially when we reach a certain stage of life. But none of those things are actually who you are. They're roles, they're behaviours, they're patterns that you've learned to survive, to belong, and to feel safe in the world. And at some point, you started believing that that was you. And I see this all the time with the women I work with. And if I'm honest, I've lived this too. We build an identity around being the good one, the strong one, the one who keeps it all together, and we perform that identity again and again and again, hoping that somewhere along the line we'll finally feel enough. I don't know about you, but I have a story running that's, I'm not enough and I'm too much all at the same time. But the moment something shakes that identity, someone leaves, someone criticizes us, something doesn't go to plan, we crumble, or we defend, or we shut down. Not because we're weak, but because we've attached ourselves to something that was never truly us. Because here's the truth, and I really want you to let this land. You're not the voice in your head. You are not the voice in your head telling you you're not enough. You are the one who hears it. Inside of you, that's what I call a village, the village of me's. There's the part of you that's scared, the part that people pleases, the part that needs control, the part that feels too much or not enough or too overwhelming or too shut down. All of these parts have been shaped by your life, your experiences, your wounds, your need to feel safe. And most are living their lives as one of those parts, reacting, overgiving, trying to keep everyone happy, trying to avoid rejection, trying to stay in control, trying not to feel. Not because you're broken, but because no one ever showed you how to lead yourself. Because you're not the villager, you're the woman who can lead the village. And everything changes when you realize that. You don't need to fix yourself. You don't need to get rid of the fear or the sadness or the anxiety. You just stop letting it be in charge. You learn to sit with it, to hear it, to understand it without becoming it. Most people don't hear with their ears, they hear with their triggers. And this is what most of us are sitting with. Let me share with you that, the imagery of this for me is it's like the sky. It's like watching the weather pass through. Sometimes it's calm, sometimes it's storms, sometimes it's rain, sometimes it feels heavy and grey. But you are not the weather. The sky is who you are. You're not the clouds, they're your thoughts. You are the sky. And this is where so much of our suffering comes, not life itself, but the voice inside that says, I need this to be different in order for me to feel okay. I need them to stay. I need this to work. I need them to understand me. I need this to not happen. And when life doesn't meet that, we suffer. We react, we grasp, we try to control. But surrender is not giving up on life, it's giving up the demand that life be different than it is. And this is why this moment on Good Friday feels so aligned with this work, because it asks something of you that isn't comfortable. It asks, what are you still holding on to that is ready to fall away? The identity, the role, the story, the version of you that was built to survive but is no longer who you are becoming. What part of you needs to die for a new part to be born? What are you ready to truly lay down? Because when you do, something incredible happens. You stop reacting to life and you start responding. You stop being led by fear and you begin leading from truth. And this is the work I do. This is the work we do together inside the sanctuary. Not fixing women, because I don't believe any of us are broken, and not saving women, but walking beside you as you remember how to lead yourself again. Because when a woman truly comes back to herself, her relationships change, her boundaries change, her voice changes, her life changes. And from that place, we don't just heal individually, we rebuild the way we relate to each other as women, with truth, with honesty, with presence, the way that we relate to our families, our colleagues, our businesses. And that's what Sacred Sister is. It's not just a community, it's not just connection. It's a space where women come back to themselves together. So tonight, under this full moon on the edge of this threshold, just take a moment, not to fix anything, not to change anything, but simply to notice who is speaking right now and who is listening. Not broken. You were never broken, sister. You just forgot that you were the one leading. So I'm going to leave you with that this evening. And I look forward to connecting with you again soon. If you want to do this work and you want to dive deeper and you are ready, then you can come and find us in the sanctuary. The sanctuary is such a beautiful place for you to really come home to yourself in sisterhood, in connection. It's a really powerful way for you to begin to lead yourself. I don't teach women how to sit in a circle anymore. I teach women how to lead their own life, lead sisters, lead our families, come to that place of leadership. And if you'd have ever said that's what I would call myself, I'd have been like, I've really struggled. I work really closely with a beautiful lawyer who helped me create our sacred agreement with Sacred Sister. And I remember her saying to me, "You're a leader." And I was like, "Oh no, I can't take that word." And she was like, "Well, do you like sharing your story and inspiring people?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "That's leadership." So, how do we lead in our own life? How do we take full responsibility and full care and full appreciation of our life? Inside the sanctuary right now, we are 4 days into our reset. So, you can jump in and join us. And the reset is this place where over 21 days, we lean into the pillars of Sacred Sister. And the pillars of the sanctuary are awareness, healing, and embodiment. And between awareness and healing becomes knowledge, this place where you really begin to understand yourself, because without knowledge, you can't heal anything. But most of us skip straight to the healing. We're like, I know something's wrong. I want to fix it. Let's heal it. And we go and we keep going and we keep going. I was a therapist for years and I saw clients over and over again. I'm treating the same problems over and over again. I'm like, come on, we have to get to the root of this, not just treat the symptoms. And then between healing and embodiment is this huge power where you get to really reclaim your own inner wisdom and who you are. And then from healing background, from embodiment background to awareness. I'm trying to remember my own Venn diagram. Somebody got me to do this the other week and I was like, whoa, it blew my mind. From there becomes purpose. It's like, what's my purpose here? What am I here to do? What am I creating in life? Where am I going? Where am I headed? What does this mean? And that's where we become whole, when all of those pieces are joining together. We're not broken, we don't need fixing. But by recognizing the patterns and the triggers and the things that set us off, then we can be like, wow, do you know what? I just remember that in the moment where I'm set to go off like a rocket, I can come back into my presence and I can choose differently. And it's not easy. Actually, no, it's simple, but it's not easy. It's really simple. Awareness, healing, embodiment. So if you want to come and join us in the sanctuary, take a look. I'll put it in the show notes. You're welcome to come and check it out. Come and see us. Book a call with me, have a chat. Let's see how we can support each other. And finally, I'm going to leave you with this little nugget of awesomeness. I've just put the tickets out for our gathering this summer. I was on the land yesterday with a beautiful sister Hazel, who's stepping in as our priestess of this year's homecoming. And the land just blows me away. I've called it homecoming because we are coming home to the land that we first started Sacred Sister on 6 years ago. And it feels precious to be coming home. The land has really called us back this year, and there's some real magic. And it's a hard one because we're not a festival, we're not a big production, we're a gathering in its absolute original sense. If you feel back into your knowing of your ancestors, they didn't have social media, they didn't jump up and down, they didn't have big names and headline acts. One woman said to another, "Hey, do you want to get together?" One said, "I'll bring dinner." The other one said, "I'll light the fire. Let's meet in the full moon because that's where the energy is good and where we have more light." So we're meeting at Lunasa in the beautiful harvest energy from the 30th of July to the 3rd of August. You're welcome to come from Thursday to Monday. You're welcome to come from Friday to Sunday. You're welcome to come for the day. We create a village and we co-create it together, and it's such magic. And it's fully catered, so you don't have to think about bringing food with you. We've got the beautiful Mala who cooks the most amazing food with her crew, and we all jump in and we peel a carrot, you know? It's magical. We sing songs by the fire, we hold ceremony. There's lots of workshops and wisdom and people sharing, and an elders village and a maiden's garden and a healing village where you can have a treatment or, sit in circle. It's magical. And I can't explain it to anyone without you experiencing it. I've tried numerous times, even with other women who hold similar kind of gatherings and events. Like, it's hard for them to get it. It's hard for them to understand that, you don't have to do anything, you just show up because we're resilient as women, and I want to hear your wisdom. Anyway, it's late. I'm sure that is probably some dodgy maths made it Married at First Sight that I need to watch before I go to bed. It's my guilty pleasure at the moment, not because I like the craziness of it, but because I love relating and looking at how people relate and looking at how people get it really wrong and how women are still so mean to each other. Makes me more resolved to do this work. So, another slurp of my hot chocolate, and I am gonna call this to a close. But remember, sister, that you're not on your own. We will always have your back. I hope that you've got a beautiful Easter weekend ahead. I'm probably going to be wielding a paintbrush and taking a sledgehammer to some toilet walls. Don't ask. And I will see you real soon. Take care. Lots of love. Laura out.